Mark, to you first. You were the speechwriter. It's an election year. You're the president. What do you try and accomplish? Do you try and bring in people who might not be on your side, or do you go left?
Well, it looks like the president's going to go left. I'll tell you, the one thing we probably won't hear tonight is the era of big government is over. When Bill Clinton was in a very similar position to Barack Obama in 1996, he had lost the Congress to the Republicans. He tried to co-opt the Republicans by coming to the center, and it looks like Barack Obama is going to try and confront the Republicans with a frontal attack using this class warfare rhetoric. The president wants to position himself as as he calls it, a warrior for the middle class, and he says this isn't class warfare, it's math. Well, he's got to deal with some real math about the situation of the middle-class Americans today. There's the 2.6 million went into poverty, 13 million unemployed,
right.
1 million private sector jobs are out, and this is why the independents are abandoning him, and he's got to deal with those realities.
Doug, is it a mistake to make it a highly politicized speech, if that's what it sounds like?
Here's the thing, Dagan. I think substantively it's a mistake. It's probably not good governance, but I think it may be smart politics. The Republicans are discredited. They show no inclination to cooperate. The president has been searching for a message, and his message is, I'm for the middle class, they're for the wealthy, Congress is do nothing. And in an environment where the president's approval rating is negative, he needs somebody to demonize, and that's why the Republicans are a convenient target.
And the president might not be talking about the era of big government being over, Mark, but we could expect to hear things like increasing our energy production in this country, which really is taking a page from the Republican playbook, is it not? So, I mean, he is really working this speech in a way that we might not think.
Well, you have to, hopefully that's the kind of thing that you're going to hear from the president, and if he does that, it'll be a successful speech. I mean, the worrisome thing, if I was a Democrat, the worrisome thing for me would be hearing that his pollsters and his political people have been taking a lead on this speech instead of his policy people. Having worked on a few State of the Union addresses, I know this, that Americans expect, first of all, Americans tune into this by the millions. This is one of two opportunities he'll have this year to have an unfettered access to the American people. And in the State of the Union, when you're there in the rostrum of the House of Representatives, you need to be substantive. And if you come out with a very, very harsh political attack on your opposition, it seems discordant and people are repelled by it. The rostrum of the House of Representatives is not the place for that.
Here. Yeah. As one of those self-described political people that Mark spoke of, who had something to do with writing the line, the era of big government is over.
That's why.
To have political advisors informing a debate in a political year to drive messages that advance the interests of the administration, in my professional and self-interested basis, is a good thing. I could not say anything else.
But wait, is there a danger, and Mark, I'll get the final word from you, but Doug first,
Sure.
Is there a danger in just repeating what you've heard over and over and over and over
very
again?
good point. The key to politics, and Mark knows this, is repetition. You have to change the words, some of the specifics on policy, but politics is about driving the same idea over and over. The big news that the press hasn't quite figured out is Obama has his themes down now, and he knows where he's going in the campaign, and the Republicans, based on what we saw last night, are just all over the lot.
Mark, really quickly, final word.
Yeah, I worked for 5 years for George W. Bush, and we never polled a speech. But the point is if it maybe we should have, but it's got to be substantive. As it comes across as political, as if it comes across as a re-election speech in that House rostrum, it's going to backfire on the president.
I don't know, fellas. Thank you so much, Mark Thiessen and Doug Schoen. Good to speak to both of you. And don't forget our special coverage tonight of that address starts at 8:55 p.m. Eastern with our very own Neil Cavuto.